Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So Microsoft has rolled out the latest Patch Tuesday security update for Windows 11, 25 and 24 H2, which rolled out late yesterday in my region on the 14th of July. And the Patch Tuesday updates that roll out on the second Tuesday of every month are mandatory updates, unless you pause the update. And if we head into our update history, the update for this month is KB5101650. And once the update has been installed, the OS build will be bumped up to 26,200.8875 for 25H2. And if you are running 24H2, that'll be 26,100.8875. Now, first and foremost, the Patch Tuesday updates address security issues and vulnerabilities and patch vulnerabilities in Windows and across the Microsoft products and services. And I posted a video earlier today, which I'll leave linked, where the Windows July 2026 Patch Tuesday fixes a record-breaking 570 security vulnerabilities, which is a bunch of vulnerabilities that have been patched. Check the video out for more information. So that's important for this update. 570 flaws have been fixed. And I think that's because Microsoft is now using AI to identify and help identify security weaknesses before attackers discover and exploit them. And then over and above these security fixes that have rolled out, the update includes features and quality improvements that were part of this update, KB5109093, which was the optional bug fix C-release update that rolled out towards the end of June. So if you didn't install the update, those fixes and improvements and features will be carried over now into this update. Now, I posted a whole video on KB5109093. I'll leave it linked because there's a lot going on. But just to go through, as a quick recap, some of the key highlights for the purpose of this video. First of all, we get a new feature called point-in-time restore. So if we head into our system, recovery, here you see point-in-time restore. If you click on view or edit, Microsoft says this flexible recovery feature helps you quickly roll back your PC, including apps, settings, and personal files to a recent automatic restore point. It helps reduce downtime and simplifies troubleshooting when issues occur. Check the video out if you want more info, but that is new point-in-time restore, which I think is a nice move. And then heading back into Windows Update, I finally received the feature where there's now a new calendar experience in Windows Update on the settings page, as you can see, that lets you pause updates by choosing an end date for up to 35 days. And Microsoft also says you can extend the pause by selecting a different end date and repause updates as needed, which I also think has been a long time coming. And that's Microsoft addressing pain points as part of its K2 effort. Nice to see that's finally rolled out. And then if you are using widgets, there's a bunch of new improvements and upgrades for the widgets. I'm not going to get into it as to not draw this video out too long, but I have posted the previous video. It'll be linked down below and in the end screen if you'd like more info regarding the widgets. And then screen tint is something I received before receiving our Patch Tuesday update. But if we head into accessibility, if you haven't seen it already, there's a good chance you should be getting the new screen tint, which, according to Microsoft, applies a full screen color overlay to help reduce eye strain and improve readability. You can choose from preset tint options and adjust the intensity or turn it on automatically. And that should now become more widely available, which is also nice to see. And then for Magnifier, which is also an accessibility feature, if we just turn that on quickly, you can now enter a zoom percentage directly and change it in increments in the Magnifier window for more precise, flexible control, according to Microsoft. And if we head into the settings, you can now also modify zoom increments directly from the magnifier bar instead of navigating to Windows settings each time. So I think those are nice little quality of life improvements that have now been made available for the magnifier. And then for File Explorer, Microsoft continues to roll out improvements and fixes and upgrades for the File Explorer. There were a bunch with that previous update. Check the video out once again if you'd like more information. And then for Bluetooth, the update improves reliability and performance when connecting to and using Bluetooth devices. There were also a bunch of new improvements and fixes and upgrades rolling out. Once again, check the previous video out. And guys, there was a lot more going on under the hood with the optional update that rolled out towards the end of June, KB510165093. As mentioned, the video will be linked. That was just a brief overview. And then over and above those features and improvements that were carried over, 5101650 includes a couple of fixes and improvements itself, where Microsoft continues the deployment via Windows Update of the new Secure Boot certificates. I've posted a lot of content on that. I'm not going to get into that in this video. There's a known issue that's been fixed where the update addresses an issue that affects certain third-party apps that use OLE automation to interact with Microsoft Office. That's a known issue now that's finally been fixed, which is nice to see. The update changes the hotkey unregister and cleanup behavior. The update introduces a security hardening change that enforces TDR, transport registration requirements. It fixes the recycle bin known issue, where it addresses additional scenarios where the confirmation dialog might display an internal recycle bin file name instead of the original file name when permanently deleting a file. So that's also been fixed, which is nice to see. I've posted on that. Not going to get too much into that. And there's now support for SHA-2 certificate thumbprints that has been added for trusted RDP publishers, with SHA-1 support retained only for backward compatibility and planned for future removal. So guys, quite a bit going on. Check the previous video out, as mentioned, if you'd like more information regarding more new features. And that's more or less what's new with KB5101650, which is our July Patch Tuesday update for Windows 11 25 and 24H2. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.